Alright, I've taken this FireBox stove here now and I've filled it full of alternating crisscrossing layers of fine bark, shredded bark, some fine twigs. There's a lot of air in there. I just want to try a little something here. I'm going to take a little something out of the fire here. There we go. There we go. I think that thing started now. I'm just going to let it go. I think it's all starting to flame right up through the bottom of there. Alright, just a moment ago I put that stick with the red hot ember on the end of it and just stuffed it up into there. Blew on it a little bit and got some little embers going. I just sat this down in the breeze here for about 2 or 3 minutes. And now, as you can see, that thing is fully engulfed. And we got us a flame going, very easy. Pretty soon I won't be able to hold on to this like this, but right now it's alright. But that's one of the nice things about this kind of stove, like this FireBox, is you can fill this thing full of all your various tinder, your barks, your fine twigs and all that. Light it up and let this thing be your giant bird's nest to hold everything, you know, while it's getting started instead of holding it in your hand. The nice thing about this is I just kind of got that thing to where it was smoking. I just set it down. I'm going to have to put it down now. And I just set it down there and let the wind just kind of work on it for 3 or 4 minutes while I was kind of getting some other things ready. And, you know, I like doing a lot of this passive fire starting, passive cooking, where you kind of get things started a little bit and then you just kind of let them percolate a little bit and kind of take off on their own. And I'm going to use a stick here for balance, but here's 200 pounds up here on the stove. I can even bounce around on it a little bit, not going anywhere. Wanted to show you a little surprise deal coming up for the FireBox folding stove, something that has been played around by the folks over there, and I've got a first prototype right here that I'm playing around with. This thing is going to be an accessory for the stove at some point, but you get to see it first right here. This is the crude version, of course. It'll look really nice when it's all tinkered with and all that sort of thing, but let me show you what we got here. Okay, you know, the FireBox stove normally is open right here on the top, and you know, you can set a cup or whatever, set a pot up on top, and you put your fire down in there. Well, this is a little, I told the guys, I say I like to do a lot of cooking in these little stainless steel GSI or various other brands of stainless steel cups. I love the darn things. And I said that's, and I would just set my cup down in on a couple of the stays and set it kind of down inside there on some light coals and everything. Like if I want to keep some tea or hot chocolate, you know, warm for a little while I'm kicking around or whatever. It's great for doing that. But I wanted to be able to run a smaller fire, just a bed of coals, very little going on, and be able to keep my kind of simmer whatever I want on there. And I put these stays right here on the top notches, and that works good for this. This particular is a GSI cup, but that fits right in there really nice, and there's enough heat in there that'll kind of keep it going. Let me show you around the other side here on the back. It's our little damper door here, and if you want a little more airflow or whatever, you can flip that down. When I get simmering, I want to just close that up because I just want to retain all the heat I can keep down inside of there, and so I can use very little, very little wood, just a tiny bit, just to keep a bed of coals going. That's all I need, and that works really well like that. And so basically this insert here, they brought me kind of a piece of metal and they had cut a hole in it. I trimmed the hole out to fit this cup, And then on the side here, there's a little slot on both sides. And what I did is I made this metal so this has a little tab that sticks into the slot on both sides, and that holds it all in place. They showed me the new version they've got, and it's actually got some other notches right here, and that thing will just index right into those. So that'll be beautiful. But this is the first prototype, and just to let you know that there is this and a ton of other things upcoming. Little additions and accessories will be available for the stove. It's a great stove. And I've just got just a bed of coals in there. You can't even hardly see them really, but man, they're hot. And that's all I need. I can feed fuel through here on this side, or I can flip. If it's kind of flaming a little, I don't want to stick my finger on that side probably as much. I'd flip this door open right here and dump my kind of refuel it a little bit. But that thing works really great. You know, because of this ring right here, it prevents the flame from kind of wrapping up around there, and the upper part of the cup right here doesn't get hot like, you know, it's going to burn stuff like on a regular fire or whatever, or even a stove, because all the heat is being contained underneath this level right here. So there you are. There's the little stainless steel cup adapter for the FireBox folding stove. Alright, let me show you something else you can do here with this stove. I've taken the ash plate from underneath here, and I've actually scraped down to the kind of damp dirt underneath there. I don't really need it on there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lay that over the top of here. I maybe should take that little round grill thing out of there, but I'm going to leave it in there for now. And I'm going to let this thing heat up, and I'm going to turn this deal right here into a hot plate. And we're going to have us some real fun right here. I'm just going to throw just a few more things in here. I wanted the it's heating up right now. I wanted to have just kind of coals and very little flame under here for what I'm doing. So we'll let that warm up for a moment, and then we'll be right back. Alright, so I'm just going to take a little butter here. I'm going to grease down our top plate, our cook plate here. Turn the ash pan into a cooktop here. I'm going to lay some bread on there. Bread and some cheese. I'm going to use this little stove to do me up a little grilled cheese sandwich here. All right, flip that over here. Let it get just a hair too long there in the middle, but that's not so bad. It's camp cooking, you know. And I've got the ventilation damper on the back of the stove. I've got that closed, so I'm trying to limit the amount of heat. The key to cooking stuff like this on here, and you know, normally you wouldn't probably try to cook something like this directly like this, but you want a very small fire, almost no flames, just mainly some hot coals. Alright, see if I burn the other side. No, not bad. Not bad. So there we are. Grilled cheese sandwich on the FireBox stove. Works really nice. There's a lot of little things you could do like that. Normally, of course, you're going to use a fry pan or skillet or some kind of something, but you know, just wanted to show this is just what I've got with the stove itself, just cooking on it. So alright, this dog here got caught in a little bit of that last flare-up. That's one of the things to kind of work with on these stoves, is trying to keep a hot bed of coals. Like that's what I've got down there now, just it's kind of red hot in the bottom. So you know, you want to be where you can't hold your hand over there for more than 4 or 5 seconds. And so now in between times, so you can lay it sideways like this. My kids would like it like that. They used to like to burn their dogs all the time. But every so often you just throw a twig or two in there is the best way to kind of keep the fire, you know, even. And that's really the biggest trick with this, is because most people, you're used to a big fire and all that sort of thing, and you're trying to maintain a small little fire here. I mean, you can stoke it up like crazy if you're just boiling water, but if you're trying to cook, you know, you got to practice a little bit. And I'm on this particular stove, on our twig stove, I got it down pretty good, but on this stove I'm still kind of learning how to regulate it a little bit. We've got about, with what's being done here, I don't know, I think I've got, gosh, I don't know, probably close to 24 hours of use on this thing so far. So I'm getting it down, trying a bunch of different things. So that right there works pretty nice, and we'll let that cook just a little bit, and then we'll be ready to do some eating here. Alright, it's eating time here. Got some ketchup and some mustard on that little toasted bread here. Now here we go. When I was a kid, I couldn't eat hot dogs. They made me sick. I guess my stomach's got stronger. It's not bad food every now and again. But I just wanted to show you some other things you can do on this little FireBox folding stove. So Prairie Peacock. Try that again. Prairie Peacock. Enjoy your time out in the woods. Use the FireBox stove. Great thing to cook on. Have a great day.